Simple Car Guy here, and today I will talk about 5 things I really love about this BMW i3 and 5 things that can be very frustrating. BMW i3 is a unique and innovative electric vehicle that has gained quite a following, but it's also a controversial one, sparking a love-hate relationship among many car enthusiasts and owners, including me. So let's start with a positive. Many people fell in love with the i3 and its avant-garde looks, but more so with its commitment to sustainability and efficiency. So the first thing I love about this BMW i3 is the focus and dedication to its efficiency, low operating costs, and overall being a trailblazer in the EV sphere. It's efficient in more than one way as well, and inexpensive to buy compared to other plug-in hybrids. Not only does it use very little amount of energy, but it's efficient in its packaging and construction as well. This is the biggest small car I have ever owned, and I love it for that. On the other hand, my version of the i3 has a tiny battery, and even though it's very efficient, the range is not great on battery alone. Of course, I know that a much larger battery came a little later, but this is a 2016 version of the car that's missing a lot of features it should have had at the price point it came in when new. It was a very expensive car, but missing simple features like heated steering wheel or blind spot monitoring or lane assist or garage door buttons or memory seats or memory mirrors, like simple stuff like this. I also don't like not being able to adjust regen braking or have a coast mode so I can be more efficient while driving. Let me be in control of my car. Some of these features could make it a little easier to live with despite the short range. Ideally, they should have kept going with this idea and came out with a much bigger battery and give this car another chance with the public. A lot of this bad taste in my mouth was left by other EV drivers, especially Tesla drivers, that kept asking, if the i3 has this feature or that feature that they would have expected to see on a vehicle that was almost $50,000 when new. But BMW seemingly spent most of the money on engineering of the chassis and skipped on the comfort features. Of course, the main reason the construction and packaging were so good on this car was because BMW designed this platform from the ground up to be this utterly unique and futuristic vehicle. Some may call it weird or quirky or different, but this is when BMW was bold and risked a lot by building a car that's made out of lightweight materials. This brings me to the second thing I love about this BMW i3. It's the super light carbon fiber shell and aluminum construction that still feels like the future 10 years later. It's actually sad to think BMW has basically abandoned this idea and went back to what people are used to. Now, the biggest news is the grille size and not the engineering they put into a vehicle. I mean, it's a wonder this existed at all. The quirky design continues on the inside, and you're greeted by a modern and minimalistic interior. The cabin is spacious and filled with eco-friendly materials and natural fibers. Not only that, the large windows bring lots of light in and provide excellent visibility. What I like most here is the amount of space in such a small car. I mean, just look how much space you have in this tiny little car. I've carried many things in the back over there that wouldn't fit in many other cars in this category. And I've always had plenty of legroom, whether I was sitting in the front or in the back of the car. Overall, I find the exterior of the car very interesting and the interior timeless. But I do have an issue with the quality of the materials used here. In pursuit of sustainability and eco-friendliness, BMW used a lot of recycled plastics and fibers and non-animal leather, whatever that is, but unfortunately that did not equal to high quality materials, and for a lot of owners it starts to look very worn out like this around 100,000 miles. I've had BMWs with at least this many miles, and most look basically brand new with some minor work inside and maybe a little bit of leather conditioning. The exterior unfortunately has similar issues. While the roof is very tough and light as it's made from carbon fiber reinforced plastics, it does start to form bubbles and fail over time. Similarly, while the plastic body panels are great in theory, the clips holding them in can and do fail, especially those around the A-pillar, and then the entire body part has to be repainted and replaced. Lastly, the frame is extremely difficult and expensive to repair, so a minor accident can write the entire car off. with ease. While the pros mentioned so far make it a very interesting car on paper, how is it to live with? Well, the low center of gravity and light construction make for a very fun driving experience and a dream in the city. Its small size and tight turning radius make it incredibly nimble and easy to manage in crowded streets and tight parking spots. Instant torque from the electric motor also provides a quick acceleration, which makes it fun to drive and altogether gives it a great driving dynamic. The nimble handling, quietness, instant power, and overall usability is my third favorite thing about this BMW i3. Notice how I didn't mention the highway driving. Well, that brings us to my next dislike on this BMW i3. The skinny tires and lightweight construction make it feel a bit unsettled at higher speeds. I have vastly improved this issue by lowering the car, installing spacers, and installing wheels and tires from a higher trim version of the car that gives me slightly wider tires. Now it takes a lot less effort keeping it straight at higher speeds, but it can be a challenge with a stock car. These tires don't handle bumpy roads very well either, and the car can get a little squirrely over very sharp bumps. It would be great if we could install wider wheels and tires, or at the very least have an option to buy high-performance tires, or, at least tires that would last more than 20,000 miles. I tackled this wear problem by having two sets of wheels and tires and swapping in winter tires for the season. The crazy thing is that you have to have different sets of wheels for the winter unless you want to be on the basic 19-inch wheels, as they don't make 20-inch winter tires for this car, and that's the rim size I have here. It's crazy. Most everyone agrees that dealing with the tire issue is very annoying and expensive, but not everyone agrees that the range extender was a great idea. For me though, I love the range extender option on this car and probably would not have bought it if it didn't have one. The only other vehicle that had a range extender like this, where it acts as a generator, that I can think of was the Chevy Volt. And now both cars have been discontinued, but I just don't understand why. On this i3, it's very easy to take care of the two-cylinder engine that's used as a generator to give you more range and take away any range anxiety. Imagine if they put a 60 kilowatt-hour battery in this car and a 5-gallon gas tank. It would easily do well over 300 miles without stopping and still be one of the lightest cars on the road. No need for a 1,200-pound, 100 kilowatt-hour battery. That would be so much more sustainable in my opinion. I also love that I was able to code this range extender to turn on anytime I want once the battery is below 75% charge. Check out this video to do the same. The biggest argument against the range extender is of course extra maintenance. Most people want an electric car because it doesn't take that much work to maintain. So the next thing I hate about this BMW i3 is the reliability and expensive repair cost, which at least partially caused the discontinuation of the car. While I don't really mind working on my own cars and find it to be a fun challenge, most people are not like me and would drop the car as soon as the warranty ran out in fear of spending thousands on simple repairs. The fact that most dealerships only had a handful of people that actually knew how to work on these, and most independent shops wouldn't even touch them, made it a tough buy for many. You can check out this video where I talk about what kind of problems you can expect when buying one of these cars. Lastly, I wanted to talk about some poor choices made by BMW when designing and supporting this vehicle that I find annoying or just don't understand. The first one is to do with the physical design of the car and specifically the rear doors. They work great in a lot of scenarios and can be very helpful, but if you park close to another vehicle, you can be stuck in this weird triangle of despair. Right, so if the vehicle's right here and you have another person with you right here, they'd have to kind of scooch in towards you so you can close the door somehow, then open this one more and then exit the vehicle. So it takes 5 actions to exit the rear seat. I can't imagine having to put a child or a child seat in the rear here. It would also be really nice if the rear window or glass would be able to roll down just a little bit to give your kids or dogs some fresh air in the back. Another big gripe of mine is the lack of software improvements that its rivals have featured. I can't believe they didn't support LTE upgrade for older models. If you don't know what I'm talking about, 2017 and older i3s can no longer connect to a network as the 3G network has been discontinued in US. And BMW claims it's impossible to upgrade to a 4G or LTE module. How do you promise a forever car but can't even keep it connected to a network? Unfortunately, with the leadership change in BMW, this car became another disposable vehicle and the platform basically abandoned. Very sad for such a cool and unique idea. Luckily, we can unlock some of the features with coding, but there are a few items that could have been smoothed out through BMW upgrades. One of them is the way it's so jumpy to turn itself off when the door is opened. It doesn't have to slam itself into park so violently if I open the door slightly to see where the curb is at while parking.
That's very aggressive.
Alright, I think I have complained enough for one video, and to be very clear, I love this little weirdo. Even though I have better cars, I keep coming back to this one for my daily commute because it's so simple, nimble, and fun to drive around town. Now, remember that every car has its strengths and weaknesses, and I hope I have helped you realize some of those on this BMW i3. Are any of them a deal breaker for you? Leave your comments down below. If you made it this far, why not check out this video where I show you 10 things you didn't know about this BMW i3, or see where this car has started by clicking right here when I bought it over a year ago at an auction. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!